Hello, what's going on everyone? And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at how to work with that of the React.js. And if you don't know what React.js is, it's just a JavaScript front-end library that you can actually use to build a UI component. And it's just basically a tool to build UI components, right? And it was actually developed by an engineer at Facebook. His name is Jordan Walkie or Walkie. I don't know how that is actually rightly pronounced, and I'm sorry if I didn't get that right, but that's just his name. So we want to take a look at that in this video. And before we actually dive in and then write any line of code or even install that, you need to know like three basic languages, and that is going to be HTML, you need to know CSS, and then you need to know JavaScript to a certain level before you can actually dive in and then do this. And what we want to do right now without wasting more time is to see how we can actually install this, and then even the tools that we need to be able to install that and then begin to work with our React.js. This is just going to be an introduction, guys. So I hope you enjoy this. So let's get into my computer and get started. Now, to start working with that of the React.js, you need to have Node.js installed on your computer. And I want to check if I do have that at this particular point. So if I open this up and if I do something like Node, and I'm going to do -v, I want to see the version of the Node that I do have. Of course, I do have Node installed already on my computer. And if you do not actually have that, you can go to nodejs.org and you can download the latest version right here. Okay, so I do have that already on my computer. And the next thing I want to check is the npm, which is the node package manager. So if I do npm and I'm going to just do -v and then open that up, and you see that I do have 10.8 already installed in my computer right here, so which is basically cool, and I think it's going to basically serve purpose. And as for this particular node npm, if you just have your node.js downloaded and installed, and it comes with the npm actually comes with that of your node.js installation. All right, okay, so to create a project in that of the React.js, I would like to have that within let's say for instance, if I do open my hard drive right here and then go to users, and then I want to go into the lot of apps right here, so I want to create it within this particular directory right here. All right, so to do that, I think it's already set to that particular directly. If you want to have your own on the desktop, you can just maybe cd into your desktop right here, do something like desktop, and you can just press enter to get that in that particular place. But however, what I want to do is just go ahead and install it in this particular directly. And to do that, I'm going to just do npm, which is node package manager, and I'm going to just do create, and I'm going to have a space, and I'm going to basically use a tool that is actually called a vite or vite, so to basically create a project. All right, so if I do npm create, and what I want to do is just do vite, and I'm going to just do add, and this is going to just basically be latest, and we can just go ahead and then name the application right here if you want to. And this is just basically my first React app, so I'm going to just do my first React. I'm going to just do dash app right here to be able to create that, and I'm going to just do a space and then do this, and I'm going to just do another space and then do double dash right there and then do template. And I'm going to explain this in a little bit, guys. So we do have that right here. I'm going to just say template, and then we can just do React just like that, and then we can go ahead and then hit on enter. Let's see what is going to happen. So this is just npm basically asking me if I really want to create a React project, right? So we can just do yes right here, or just type a y and then hit enter. And but before we actually continue, I don't know if I really explained this command right here. All right, so for me to kind of explain that, this particular one right here, which is npm create, this is just a new shorthand for a kind of a scaffolding a project, basically using a starter template like that of the vite. All right, so that's just what that means. So it's just similar to npx, but this one is more focused on scaffolding tools. All right, so this is just like a shorthand for us right here, talking about what I've just done from here. All right, so the next thing that we really need to explain is where I do have a vite at latest right here. And what that means is that it tells npm to use the latest version of vite project generator. That's just basically what this is actually doing for us. And then the next one right here is this place where we'll have my React, my first React app, just the name of the folder or the app that we're basically working on right here. Right, and it's really very simple, right? And I think the last thing that we're having here is just basically this is just a flag that you basically need to pass. All right, this is just basically a flag that must be passed to that of the vite to be able to make use of it. And from here to this particular place, this just a kind of a test the vite to use the React starter template. All right, so that's just basically what that means. And just basically in plain text or in plain language, what this line simply means is very simple. It says use the latest version of vite to create a new project called my first React app using the React template. That's just basically what that line has actually done for us. I'm just talking about from here to this particular place, and I hope you understand that. All right, so within this place where it is asking us a question, if we want to kind of install this particular version, we can just type Y right there, which means yes, and press enter. All right, so if you take a closer look, you are going to notice that the installation has just been concluded, all right, and we can now run our application. So it's giving us some steps right here, all right. We can just first of all, we can cd into our application right here, and we can, after that, we are going to run this particular command right here, and after that, we can run this last command right here, all right. And to do that is really very simple. So, but down here, we do have some notices right here, and it's just telling us that we have 10.8.2 version of that of the npm, but there is a newer version called 11.4.0 right here, and you can go ahead and install that if you basically want to do that by going through this particular link right here. But I'm going to just leave it and then continue with what I want to do. So what do I want to do right here? I'm going to just go ahead and then say cd, and I'm going to just cd into my first react app, which is just basically this particular command that we do have right here. Okay, my first React app, and I'm going to just go ahead and then run that, and you see that the directory has been changed, right? And we're into that particular app, we are into that particular section right here. So the next thing we need to do is to do npm install. So I'm going to just do npm, which is node package manager, and I'm going to just do install, and I hit enter. And it's going to try to go ahead and install that for me. However, as that is just the installation is going through, if you take a look here and we'll look for that particular folder, it must have been created by now. All right, so if you take a look here, and then you scroll down, you see that that particular folder has been created for us right here. All right, so, which is just basically cool. So we can just continue. All right, so it may take a while to kind of install that for you, and it found no vulnerability. This is zero found so far. And the next thing we want to do is to run this particular command right here, npm run dev. So I'm going to just do npm, I'm going to just do run, I'm going to just do dev right here. Then hit on enter, and it's going to just basically give us this right here. All right, which if we click on this, so we do open this on a new tab, we're going to just see our app live. So I'm going to copy this right here, and if we go to a new tab right here, open that up, I'm going to go ahead and then paste that and then open that up. You see that the installation works just fine, and our app is actually live right here. Okay, so congratulations if your own worked up to this particular point. Alright, so that's just basically how that is actually created. For instance, if you want to open this up for editing, let's say you want to begin to kind of edit this that you have in here, we can just basically go ahead and open that maybe in our Visual Studio Code. So if you do code and do dots and then open that up, I hit enter, it's going to go ahead and then open that up for you. And if it does not, you can actually go ahead and then open that manual. But let's just wait and see whether that opens. Alright, so I think it's about to open, but it's just taking too long time to open. And instead of waiting for that, we can just go and open that manually from here. So if I right click on this and then select show more options, and then we can open with Visual Studio Code right here. I think this one is a lot more faster. I'm just waiting for that to kind of open from there. All right, so if you take a look at here, you're going to see that we do have a couple of folders right here. This is the node modules, this is the public folder. If you click in here, we just basically have something like a logo in here via tsvg, and then we'll have we do have our src right here, which I'm going to just basically come back to this very soon. But for now, if we take a look in here, we're going to see where we do have our index right here. If I open this is just basically our entry point right here, and React is actually going to inject my app within this particular div that we have right here. All right, so the actual starting point for my React app is actually located in this main.jsx right here, which is actually found on this particular folder, and then we can find main. So if you want to get in there, if you go to src, and then we're going to see that we're going to have something called the main.jsx right here. So this whole code that we will have in our main.jx right here, or main.jsx right here, just basically telling the React app to kind of render our application within an ID called the root, which is basically found within this particular index that we do have in here. All right, so look at the div right here. we do have an ID called root right here. So that's basically what this main.jss is actually doing. Very simple, right? So it's going to render, tells React to just basically render the app within that particular ID. So since this particular app is actually telling us that, telling React.js to basically render my app within this particular ID, the another thing or the next thing we need to take a look at is called the app.jsx right here, which is just basically the part of the application that I can actually edit, right? So we can go ahead and then edit. So whatever you are seeing on the browser right here, all of these things that are here, they can be actually found on this particular place, all right? So you can find them and then you kind of edit them right here, and then it will update on that particular section that we have up there in the talking about the UI that you are basically seeing right here, right? So if we go back in here, so this is my main component, right? So I like to maybe let me edit this right here, and I will just say something like this is my first React. We'll just do React .js app like that, all right? And if we just basically save this, I want to just like I want to minimize this a little bit, and if we move this a little bit to this, and I want to just also minimize this particular page right here, all right? So the reason that I'm just kind of doing this is I just want to like save the changes, and then you see how it's going to basically reload the application for us without having to come manually to reload that. Okay, so Vite kind of does a great job on that particular angle, right? So this is our browser right here, and we can just go ahead, let's make this a little bit bigger, and I want to like close out this part. All right, so if we save the changes, I'm going to just go to file and I hit on save right here, and I'm going to see what is going to happen right here. See, it updates instantly without waiting for me to come and then reload. All right, if we change this to something else, let's say this is going to be, I'm going to say this was a great tutorial, and if you save the changes, it updates just instantly. All right, so that is it, guys. So the next thing that is really important right here, I want to minimize this and then make this a little bit big. And if I hit on this side is our package.json. So if I hit this and open that up, you see that it's just going to have all our dependencies right here. All right, so this is the name of our apps, and we have everything that we need to just basically have on this place. All right, so all of the dependencies, and if we add new dependencies, they're actually going to come in here. All right, so what I want to do right here is that I'm just going to basically stop right here, and then we're going to take this further at a later video. But for now, we're going to just stop right here. And if you really enjoyed this video, just feel free to let us know in the comment section. And for those of you who are interested in being coached on how to actually build applications from the scratch, you can just go ahead and then send us an inbox right here, or you can use our phone number right here to chat us up on WhatsApp, and we're going to respond to you from there. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.